Great. Thank you, Katie, and thank you, Kirsten. We're excited to get started with this section, which we've kind of called What is Mortar Board? Mortar Board is a unique honor society that was chartered on 234 college and university campuses across the United States. Founded in 1918 as an all-women's honor society, at a time when women were fighting for the right to vote, let alone have equal representation on college campuses. Mortar Board began then. You've heard the history at your initiation ceremonies, how in 1915, a wearer of a gold pin in the shape of a mortar board met another wearer of a pin, not like her own, but also in the shape of a mortar board. Each one represented a group of senior college women striving to render service to their alma mater. They worked for 2 years to generate interest from similar groups in the idea of a national organization of senior honor societies for women. With the result of that, in 1918, the delegates from 5 organizations met together representing the Ohio State University, Swarthmore College, the University of Michigan, Syracuse University, and Cornell University.
You've heard that in 1975, Mortar Board convened a special national conference to consider the ramifications of the regulations of Title IX, which prohibited sex discrimination by organizations on campus that are recipients of federal funds. The delegation voted to admit men into Mortar Board and to strengthen the purpose to include an emphasis upon the advancement of the status of women in our bylaws. The following year, delegates added to the purpose to promote equal opportunities among all peoples, explicitly stating Mortar Board's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. As you can imagine, paring down 105 years worth of history into 2 paragraphs is nearly impossible. Equally as difficult is explaining to you what it means to be a Mortar Board member and the lasting impact this society has on you and on the lives of others. We're inviting 3 amazing leaders to help you better understand the society through sharing their experiences with Mortar Board. We'll introduce them as their first questions are asked, but please give a warm welcome to Catherine McKenzie, Vedant Kulkarni, and Kaylee Weicker.
Thank you, panelists. So Vedant, I hope it's okay. We're going to start with you.
Sounds
You
good.
graduated from Kansas State, where you served as chapter president. During your time in Mortar Board, you won the Starlington Award. This national award is given to 2 collegiate members who understand the purpose of Mortar Board, are dedicated to their chapter, and have internalized the true obligation of membership. You've continued to be involved in Mortar Board as a section coordinator. Thinking back to your time in Mortar Board, particularly your collegiate year, what were the most impactful moments?
Awesome. Thank you very much for that question, Patience. So I would have to say some of the most impactful moments that I had with Mortar Board kind of came with the entire Mortar Board community that I in general was a part of when it was on campus. Our entire Mortar Board cohort at K-State, we all worked together to put up numerous events. Our class was the class right after COVID, and the previous class had pretty much everything virtual. So we had to kind of like revitalize the on-campus event side of it, and nobody shied away from their responsibilities. Everyone took the charge, took the leadership, even within our cohorts, subcommittees, all the committee leaders, everyone participated with their whole hearts and put 100% of their efforts into the events, kind of became successful. So it was good to see everyone work together. There were limited conflicts, if any, that arose. So which means like everyone was looking forward to finding a solution all the time. And overall, that also culminated into our organization winning an award for on-campus service involvement at the end of the year. So that was the impactful part of Mortar Board at K-State when I was the president. When it comes to the National Committee, one of the things that I remember from National Committee is, I was part of the conference. I got into the conference not knowing, well, what the heck am I doing? Very limited idea, kind of like a lot of students that might be here right now. But I was a candidate back then for the national representative. And although I didn't get that chance, I do remember Candy texting me the next day asking me to be a part of the DEI committee nationally. And so serving in the DEI committee for a year and a half actually helped me make more impactful impact on Mortar Board nationally, particularly with our diversity, equity, and inclusion policy. I was able to work with the committee to start our DEI recognitions that we have started. So essentially, those were kind of the two big impactful moments for me with Mortar Board.
Thanks, Vedant. So Kaylee, you're an incredibly active Mortar Board volunteer, serving as a section coordinator for the past 4 years and serving on several committees. You work hand in hand with a wide variety of chapters, giving them the resources they need to be successful. So when you're talking to new members about their goals and opportunities for the collegiate year, what do you emphasize?
Thanks, Trish. When I talk to collegiate members, I always like to emphasize chapter resources. They're on campus, as well as national resources that are available to them. Things within your university that I highly recommend are looking at your university calendar. When you're planning events, you're never going to avoid everything, but it's best to try and avoid as much as possible so that people are free to attend your events. You can also rely on your fellow Mortar Board members, as well as your advisor. Those are amazing resources to you as a member, as an executive board member, as an officer. You don't need to do everything yourself. It's a team for a reason. And I always highly suggest delegating if you can. Plan to your strengths, use the strengths of others, and lean on each other. It's a group, it's a team effort. Nationally, there's some wonderful resources on the website. There's handbooks that you can read, and that will give you the basis. But the people resources are some of the best things about Mortar Board. Your section coordinators, the national office, the national foundation, all of your leadership there. We are here to help. That's why we do this. We absolutely love helping. So the resources there are great. And overall, communication. Find a way to communicate that works for you, your chapter members, your exec board members. Use it often, and whatever it is. And above all else, just make sure that you're having fun while you're doing it. This is not something you want to get burnt out doing.
Thanks, Kaylee. Great advice. Kay, it is not possible to fully capture all the things that you have contributed to this organization. You personify the lifetime commitment that it means to be a member of Mortar Board. You were initiated in the Oklahoma Baptist University chapter of Mortar Board in 1969. And have stayed involved for 50 years, serving as a section coordinator, our national president, trustee of the Mortar Board Foundation, and charter member of the Mortar Board Alumni Association. What has kept you involved in Mortar Board all these years? Oh, and you're on mute.
Thank you, Patience. It is my privilege to get to speak to you this evening and to address these wonderful new members who have come to have a wonderful orientation and challenge for their upcoming academic year. I was fortunate to grow up in a family where the mantra proceeded, for whom much is given, much be expected. And having been initiated and installed in Mortar Board in 1968, that challenge was there for me. Both parents being professors, I had knew academics were important as well as the leadership, but that entire service aspect was one that Mortar Board was so significant for me. I, as you had said, have had the opportunity to serve. I think that's one of the areas in which Mortar Board can fulfill your life as a new member. This next year will be a challenge for this 1 year, and you will contribute on your campus. But as you can tell, the the opportunity to serve for many years is there, and mortar board people will ask. So be prepared, because it is a phenomenal opportunity to be involved with people who have camaraderie, who have challenge you, even at my age, to get out there and find those areas that need to be served in our communities, in families, in all of the things that we're all involved in and will be for the rest of your life. So I, in particular, have always been appreciative of the fact that one of the categories of getting older is still an inclusive part of the mortar board experience. Thank you, Patience.
Thanks, Kay. And I'm going to have you stay off mute, because I'm going to ask you the next question. So mortar board is more than 100 years old. From your perspective, Kay, what are the key pieces of mortar board's history that you think members should know? And how has mortar board changed with the times to stay relevant over a century later?
Yes, I had made a bit of an outline perhaps about that starting in 1918. I wasn't there then. I don't mean to say that, but the foundation of it, and I just might put a little addition in there that we are privileged at this conference to have representation of one of our founding chapters with the Ohio State University, and then our latest chapter, which has been installed, the College of Charleston, who have 5 students and their advisor participating. So we have an extraordinary historical line as the organization has grown. I think one of the more significant activities that I participated in, or not participated as a section coordinator, I did not vote, that was the student vote, was in 1975. When men were admitted to the organization. And we can proudly say that we have had 3 national presidents of the council, and our president-elect, Nathan Crudele, will be taking over in a few years. So I think the organization has had vision. I think there's been implementation of items of the culture which are so necessary in our latest, as you had mentioned, the service you've given on DEI. I think mortar board has been inspired to respond to the needs of our culture and our lives that we're having. And I guess I guess that would be the vision of mortar board.
I couldn't agree with you more, Kay. Vedant, I still remember you attending your first national conference. I remember we were remote in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. You were joining from India in the middle of the night. You attended every moment of the conference. You even ran for office and volunteered for our DEI committee. And I still can remember your enthusiasm. And so as sort of a model conference attendee, I wonder, what advice do you have for our collegiate members to get the most out of this conference? And how did you connect to delegates, even though you were continents away?
Awesome. Great question. Well, first of all, if anyone is in a time difference like I was, take a nap before the conference. It's very helpful. But no, jokes apart, I think overall, I was just excited about the conference to learn about mortar board. As I mentioned, I just had transitioned with the previous president, and then we went into summer vacation. And all I was told before the summer vacation is, hey, by the way, you're going to be at this conference and you have to be there. So get ready. And I think that's when the advisor of our chapter actually emailed me saying, hey, do you wish to run for national representative? And I thought to myself for 3 seconds, and then I was like, why not? And chose to do it. Essentially, conference, the way we kind of figured it out is we had all the vice presidents and myself, the president, join into the conference, and we divided each of us into sessions that we wanted to attend. So I took sessions on, say, budget or financing, while our VP of marketing took the social media and chapter visibility sessions, attended it. That way our chapter had like a holistic experience. And then when we met back in fall semester, we had a meeting just to debrief what we learned from the conference and kind of like see what we can put into use with the conference. When it comes to at the conference, just paying attention to all the sessions that you are a part of, because every information is very, very helpful. So, just writing down, taking down some notes, in general helps out a lot. What I realized from my experience. The other thing was, connect with people, connect with some other collegiate members, maybe connect with people from your region. When we had the regional meetings, we made sure that we all exchange our phone numbers, maybe emails, just to like learn from each other, see what the other chapters are doing. We connected each other's social medias. So, KSU Mortar Board followed the other Mortar Boards in that chapter. So that is also helpful to see what progress everyone is making and what kind of ideas can be used at your universities, which can help you put something, make something fruitful. And yeah, just like I said, connecting with other people. I'm still connected on social media with the chapter leaders from that time, and the national representative candidates who I ran against at that time. So, you are always like, it's a family. So you stay connected. You kind of like see everyone posting about Mortar Board. So it's very helpful. And one thing as a section coordinator right now, I would say is be, as frank and open as you can with your section coordinators. We are not going to eat you. We are not going to say anything. We are here to help you out. So always here to help.
Great point, Vin. So Kaylee, for you, Mortar Board is a family affair. So you've shared before that one of your favorite Mortar Board moments was seeing your sister be inducted to Mortar Board at The Ohio State. And now you and your sister serve both as section coordinators for Region 3. So aside from getting to spend more time with your sister, what would you say are the benefits for collegiate and alumni members?
The benefits are so vast for Mortar Board members that it would be hard for me to list them all. But some of the most important ones that I think for collegiate members, it's a wider network on campus. You're going to be meeting people that you may not have known before, because a lot of times campuses are segregated by majors. So when I joined Mortar Board, I got to become friends with some people that I didn't know on campus. Even though Ohio Northern was a small campus, there were still people I didn't know. And it gave me a wider network and people who are still some of my best friends today. It gives you experience for jobs and volunteer roles in the future. A lot of professional development comes out of being a Mortar Board member, not just an executive member, but just a member in general. Opportunities like coming to conference, the professional development is great. And as well as the wider network on campus, there is a huge network of Mortar Board alumni members that are here to support and encourage you. You can ask them questions. If you have questions about job interviews, there's probably somebody in the Mortar Board alumni network that has that job that can answer those questions for you. As an alumni, you can get job and volunteer opportunities. Like Kay said, we will ask. So not just within Mortar Board though, people see Mortar Board on a resume, and that's a big thing for them. They see that as someone who is a leader and is loyal to a cause and an organization. So that's a big plus there. Opportunities to support collegiate members. That's my favorite benefit right now, is being a section coordinator and being a national leader and getting to work with collegiate members whose shoes I was once in, and see how great you guys are doing at advancing the organization and moving it forward in history. And as well as the MBAA, the Mortar Board Alumni Association. That's a wonderful benefit for alumni members. They do book clubs, they do meetups. I'm sure Kara will talk about it at some point this weekend, but being a part of that is also a great benefit.
Great. I want to thank all of our panelists, and I want to kind of close out our panel with sort of a question to everyone. Mortar Board was founded on the tenets of scholarship, leadership, and service. If you had to pick 3 other words to answer the question, what is Mortar Board? Which ones would you choose? Kay, would you be willing to go first?
Yes, I will go ahead. I will say longevity, spontaneity, and light. And I have to add to this one. Light is a theme in Mortar Board. We'll have a candle light dinner tomorrow night. We have a wonderful poem, The Torch, which will be read tomorrow night, about light. And I discovered in preparing for this that Edith Wharton quote, "There are 2 ways of spreading light, to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it." And I think that says the Mortar Board experience.
Beautiful, beautiful. Kaylee, what are your 3 words?
My 3 words would have to be opportunity, loyalty, and fun.
Beautiful. Vedant?
Awesome. So my 3 words I would say is brilliance, positivity, and family.
Well, thank you, everyone. And I want to thank our panelists and just remind us, and so you can put your appreciation in chat that I saw go along the way. But at the Centennial Celebration in 2018, the Historical Committee published a book chronicling Mortar Board's national history. In the first chapter, they stated the implicit in this history are 3 general precepts that have sustained Mortar Board for the past 100 years. The first is the heart and purpose of the organization, as it has been kept alive by the ideas and talents of its student members and chapters. The second is the continuity of the organization, as it has been maintained through the commitment and support of alumni, chapter advisors, college administrators who have provided their time and resources. And the third is the challenge of the organization as it strives to preserve its founding ideals and standards and endeavors to create a meaningful experience for outstanding college seniors. For our collegiate members who are attending with us today, you are the future of Mortar Board. Our collegiate members will govern our society, and this weekend you will have the opportunity to do so. You will set forth resolutions and recommendations this weekend that the National Council will consider in our planning for years ahead. You will one day be the alumni leading events like this one, continuing to pour into the next generation of leaders across hundreds of campuses in our nation. You are writing our history today, and we can't wait to see the next chapter. I'll turn it over to Katie.
Wow, what a beautiful set of sentiments. I was trying to catch everyone's words and didn't have my pen handy enough, so I hope someone might drop them all 3 in the chat. I heard light and opportunity, brilliance. Some of those words just completely resonate with me as a member at my 17th national conference. I don't know if I've ever heard it spoken so beautifully.